Hi, and welcome to my latest video on more EDC goods. What I'm going to do in this one is I'm going to challenge myself to make the smallest EDC that will fit in your pocket. So with any EDC there are certain things that you find that are essential. So these are the items that I'm going to say for me are essential to carry. So pills of whatever the sort, whether it's just like painkillers for emergency, bit of change, charging cable, one key, a little notepad, some AirPods, a couple of cards and a little bit of folding money. And then to go along with it I've got a selection of pens, torches, some sort of multi-tool, and those are all the different EDC pouches that I'm going to try. I've got a lot more, but these are the smaller ones that should fit in your pocket. One of my favourite ones I've done in a previous video was this one. Obviously that's not going to fit in your pocket, so I've ruled out all these that I've got on here in favour of those ones there. So let's have a look. So first of all, let's have a look at the selection of pens that I've got. So with it being as small as possible, these are the few pens that I'm going to trial, if you will, because that's the tiny little notepad that I'm going to put in. It's just one of the really cheap ones. I actually got this in a Christmas cracker, so I'm going to be using that one. Yeah, obviously there are ones that you can buy, you know, the ones that you can write on, whatever the weather, stuff like that, but it's just for the this project, the smallest that you can fit in your pocket, and these are the small pens. So as a reference, that's about the same size as a normal pen. You can see they're all quite a bit smaller. That's just a standard sort of half-size biro, if you will. Nice and light. Then I got this one, which has got the bolt action. For those of you that feel the need to have a fidget thing in you as well, that's okay. This one's called a Rhino Rescue. So it is it's almost like a Sharpie, and it's also got on the end a little window breaker. That's nice and small and light. Then I've just got a twist pen, and finally I've got a telescoping pen that you just unscrew the end, and then you've got the writing part on there. Screw that back in and it collapses up, and you can actually take this off if you want to. So looking at these pens, I'm going to roll out, I think, those three, because these are the smallest and lightest, and straight away it's going to be the smallest one, isn't it? It's a small EDC carry, so as you can see it is very small. It's actually this size of the width of a credit card. And for this project I am going to take the little, you don't need to watch me do that. So there we go, I'll put that with all the other essential items. Torches. Again, it's a video about the smallest you can possibly get whilst they're all still functional. So almost straight away I'm going to roll that one out, I think, because it's, whilst it is really small, and it's actually a really good torch. Yeah, slightly too big, so I'm going to roll that one out. Same again, I'm going to think with that one again, even though this is more like a floodlight style. It's a great little light, but it's just a little bit bulky. Whilst it's really light, but you know, I'm going to roll that one out. This one I found, it doesn't have a battery in, but you can plug it into your phone as long as it's got a USB-C. and it gives a really good torch, much better than the standard one on your phone. But again, I'm going to rule that one out, just in case you're the type of person that you don't want to carry your phone around with you for whatever reason. So I'm going to rule that one out. These two, one's AAA and the other one's AA. They're both sort of fairly good, they're okay. And they're both just literally on off. So I'm just going to leave them to one side for now. I'm not going to rule them out. At the moment, I'm leaning towards this one, which is a fantastic little torch. So you've got your on, slightly dimmer, and off. It's USB-C rechargeable. It's got a little clip on if you want to clip it on your pocket. Yeah, so I'm not sure yet. I'm just going to leave those three over with my other essential gear. I'm not sure which I'm going to use yet. And that brings us on to the tool of some sort that you need to take with you. Again, if you're the type of person that wants to carry some tools around with you, just in case. I've done this one on a previous video. It's like a 7-in-1. It does have a torch on, screwdriver, whistle, all sorts of things, but it's a bit too long, so I'm going to rule that one out straight away. Then I've got the emergency, like wallet size. It's got a knife and like a sewing needle on it, a little mini saw, but I think just for an everyday carry it's not quite up to it. That's just my opinion. Same as this, it's just a little box cutter. It's got a tiny blade on the end, which is great for cutting open like sellotape on boxes and things like that, but it's a bit too dedicated to one purpose. Roll that one out. This one as well, it's the same sort of thing. It's just a push and the blade stays out. Again, yeah, perfect for doing boxes. It will cut through cardboard, paper, everything like that a little bit better than the other one, but it is just got the one function, so I'm going to roll that one out. This one as well, it's a screwdriver at each end, and each end has, if I can't get them out, different ends. So whilst it's really good if you want a screwdriver, that is the only thing it will do. So again, I'm going to roll that one out. Dedicated pair of folding scissors. Whilst they are really good little scissors, again, it's a bit too dedicated just for one purpose. I put these in just in case you are the type of person that needs to carry a pair of emergency glasses with you. I've got to a certain age where I do need glasses to read, especially if it's bad light. Normally in good light I'm okay, but if it's bad light or very small writing, I need them. So again, I'm going to leave these to one side. I'll see if they will go in my EDC. That is a pair of dedicated scissors again, which are tiny. And they're not bad actually, they're quite sharp, and they will actually go through smaller wires as well as paper obviously and cardboard and stuff like that, but again a bit too one purpose, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to roll that one out, but I might do a little review on that later on. So we're left with basically pen knives, I suppose. Let's look at this one. It's a great one, is this. You can fold it open and you've got pliers which have a little wire cutter there, and then inside, I'll fold it back up for now so I don't nip my fingers, and you've got obviously lots of different things, but like a mini saw blade there, a sort of awl, and then you've got your bottom opener, little screwdriver, and then I've got a file. That's a small cross screwdriver, another screwdriver, and then a slightly bigger blade. And in the UK, it is illegal to carry a blade over a certain length. I'm pretty sure that's fine to carry around. So again, I'll keep that to one side for now, maybe go in. And then we've got a copy of an Equinox. Copy of a Swiss Army knife. So you've got a blade, which when they come, they're not very sharp at all. And then you've got a bottle opener, flat-ended screwdriver, can opener, and a pair of scissors, which I think a pair of scissors is probably one of the things you really do want on for an everyday carry, as is a corkscrew. This one does have a file on as well, and a small cross screwdriver, and as in the other what are these called? Equinox, what are they called? So you've got a pair of tweezers and toothpick. So it's a good size, as in small. Same as this one, very similar size. A lot of the functions are similar as well. Corkscrew, crosshead screwdriver, bottle opener with a flat-end screwdriver, can opener, and the blade. This one just doesn't have the scissors. So again, I'm not sure which of those I prefer. That's slightly slimmer, isn't it? Again, I'm going to keep both of them to one side. So here are the items that I think we're going to need. We've got multi-tool, one of those. At the moment, I'm going to try and get my glasses in. One of those torches, and then those are what I think just about everybody's going to want to carry around. And here are the different pouches. So let me just zoom out a bit. Let me just quickly show you this one, because I think I'm probably going to roll this one out. It isn't actually a pocket one. This loops through your belt, and you've got lots of different slots for putting things in. A built-in carabiner. It's really tough leather. It's quite good, but for this purpose, I don't think that's going to quite cut it. Let me quickly have a look at this one. So again, you can loop your belt through there. You can just clip it on a belt hook, clip it on somewhere. You've got one pouch there and one there with a separator in. I'm not sure most of that's going to fit in there. Let me try it. Okay, so we've got the pouch. A few coins. I think coins probably go in there. And maybe the notes as well go in that bit, which is a bit of a squeeze, but they're not going to fall out. And the cards aren't going to go in that bit, but they will go in the main bit. Yep, headphones. There's the paper and the pen. The key is going to go in there. Charger. It's getting a bit cramped. And then I'm going to have to choose the smallest of the pen knives. Yeah, it's not quite big enough. If you would you want to carry those few things around, a very small amount of things in, that's okay. Or if you don't want to carry your AirPods around, so I'll get all that in there, and then you've got a bit more room for the knife and possibly the glasses. I think these have got a little clip, so they could. Yeah, I think for this it's going to want to go inside, so I'm just going to quickly take that off, and then there you go. So it will all go in, and that's probably about the smallest of all the pouches I've got. That's probably about the same volume, but just slightly cramped, can't get everything in, so empty that one. Add on to this one that I've just shown you. pulley and one little thing there. So this, I think this is going to be a squeeze to get all that stuff in there. And it's all in one pouch, basically, so I'll give it a go. Let's have a look. Get the paper, the cards in. And actually, I'm looking straight away, and that's only going to just zip up with the cards there. It's, again, the AirPods aren't going to go in. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say no to that one almost straight away because it's just a tiny bit too small. Again, depending on what you wanted to carry, if you just wanted, say, well, the biggest of those three torches, a penknife, your charging cables, and then in the pocket there, maybe your key, pen, and writing equipment. Yeah, it's all a little bit messy, isn't it? It's just not quite all easily accessible. Yeah, so yeah, another one rolled out. Onto this one, which obviously, as you can see, it's clips together, and then you've got a few pouches and things on the outside. The only thing with things on the outside, there is the possibility they can fall out. But anyway, we'll go ahead and see what we can get in here. Let's have a look. I can get my cards, cash in there. I suppose that doesn't matter if that falls out, so I could put that in the back there with the pen. The chargers could go in there. Key. It's tighter than it looks. It's quite secure. Which of these? That one go in there. Again, it's getting very tight, and it's not going to fasten up that. So, yeah, again, it's one of them where it's just slightly too small. Okay, nevertheless, on to the next one. And straight away I'm thinking this is going to have a similar problem. You've got a handy little thing to put your key on, so that's not going to fall out, but I'm thinking by the time you've got some cash in there, your cards aren't going to go in the front one, they'll have to go in the main one. I'm just going to throw my key in there for now. There's still a bit of room in that one, so the pen and the paper go in there, as could the pills, and it looks like the charger's going to go in as well. So maybe the smallest of the torches and the smallest of the pen knives just going to go in. Let me just try it that way around. Again, it's a very tight squeeze. That will zip up, but we're missing the AirPods and the glasses. But it's okay, but it's not quite got as much on as I'd like. So, yeah, on to the next one. I'm just going to quickly share this. I know I've shown you this one in a previous video, but it's one of the wristband ones, which you can get a few items in there. I know I'm not going to get everything in that one, so I'm not going to go through it all, but if you just wanted to carry cards, cash, maybe the pen and your keys, that's going to go in there. But yeah, roll that one out. And I'm almost certain this one's going to be rolled out as well, because by the time you put your torch in there, cards, notes, change, pills, charger, key. We're getting there, aren't we? There's a couple of more. Let's see if I can get more in there, because it still looks okay. Get the paper and the pen. Let's have a look. My glasses might even go in there. And then the pen knife No, not going to get a pen knife in any of them. Maybe in there. No, not quite. But again, that'll go in your pocket, and it's got nearly everything in. Just from my point of view, not quite everything. And it's not particularly easily accessible when they're all just sort of thrown into one area, if you will. So yeah, let's carry on. Next one. So this one's got a little bit more versatility, should we say. So you've got a key ring in there, so you put your key on there and slide it in there if you want. I'm just going to drop it in there for now. Main ones, well, do they fit in there? Okay, yes. And the notes. Yeah, again, I'm going to have to throw everything sort of into one area. There is a little divider there, so I'll just separate the pen and paper. And the pills are going to go in there as well. And then the other side, there's enough room for your charger, possibly the torch, and again possibly one of the knives. But we're right at the limit there. So again, not bad. We've got everything apart from my glasses and the AirPods, and that is a really small package. It's put them in quite well. But next one, and on to the last of the small pouches that I've got. So this has got the internal divider there. It does have a Velcro patch on the front, and we've got 3 separate slots in the back. So let's start by putting a knife in the back. That's a nice tight fit. The flat torch isn't quite going to go in there. One of the smaller round ones, yeah, that goes in. That one doesn't, so it's going to have to go in there. And I'm just going to slot the pen in there for now. And then in the main pocket, basically it's a case of throwing most of the stuff in. I'm going to separate the cards into that back one with the notes. I'll put the notepad in the back there as well. And then in the front we're going to slot the pills, charging cable, just getting my glasses in, and possibly my AirPods. There we go. That's the first one that's got everything in. Let's even say we could take that knife out and probably get a slightly bigger one in there, if that's your preference. The torch will still go in, hopefully, in there. So there we have it. So, again, depending on what you want to carry, take the AirPods out, because maybe you don't want to carry them, and then, yeah, not a bad size that, is it? And then, obviously, you can take these little clips and things off. Never did find an EDC that would carry that one, even though I don't quite like it. And I am going to say, look, everything is sort of not all jumbled around, but it's not quite easily accessible. But you've got everything there in an EDC that I think you're going to need. And at that price, that's not bad, is it? I'm going to put the price of the other items on as well. So the torch is one of those that's just a AAA, which is okay, just for an emergency torch. Same as that one, slightly bigger. Same again, just simple on off, and it's not too bad. I don't want to shine it straight at you, but yeah, again, my favourite. So that is amazing for that size torch, isn't it, really? You do have to cycle through the different modes, but yeah, I really like that one. The different penknives, stroke tools. There's that one, that's that price. Copy. Now this one you can get in multiples, so I think that's a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's probably a 7 or even 8 in one. Similar theme, just without the toothpick, tweezers and the scissors. But there's your scissors if you want them. Do you need a toothpick? Do you need tweezers all the time? So that's that one. That's that one. A telescopic pen. Which is really handy when it's that size, and very easily pocketable when it's like that. Multiple type of charger, so depending on what your phone, see mine is an iPhone, so that's the iPhone one, and then on buses sometimes they've got the USB-C, sometimes they have the USB-A, I can't remember. And this one as well, if I can get it to clip back in, is like magnetic, so you can just loop it around your belt if you want. And then the different pouches, that's that one. If you liked any of the others, there's that one. That feels nice and similar material to that, really tough. The zips feel good. Comes with the carabiner and the key carry there. That one, it's got the Velcro on. There are 3 loops at the back. You can just unclip that, put it on your belt if you want. And it's just got the sort of main pocket there with one little slot. The folding type one with the larger slot there and a pen torch slot. Clips together with 1, 2, 3. The little one that I started off with, which has got, that will come out if you want to. You can take that out completely, slide that your belt through there. It comes with this, with that carabiner. That's actually quite strong. One little pocket in the back. Big compartment split into 2 in the main bit. The zips feel good quality. These feel quite good as well. It's made of that tough nylon again. There's my little wrist thing I was showing you. I've had this for a while now. It's lasting quite well. And then we've got this one, which feels very, what's the word, plasticky, but built-in key loop, front small pocket, large main pocket. Again, the zips feel quite good. Just feels a little bit, I can imagine it in your pocket all day. If it's a hot day, you'll feel sweaty wherever that is, but if that's your thing. And then the last one, that's got the big Velcro patch on. Comes with the carabiner. Doesn't feel quite as solid as some of the others. You've got a pocket there, another bit of Velcro there, with behind it are 2 little slots. The zip doesn't feel quite as good, but I'm looking at that zip and that looks like it might be one of those waterproof ones, but I'm not sure whether this would be waterproof. Don't think it will be, but maybe when the zip's been used a few times. Actually, yeah, it does feel a bit better already. But it's a very small compartment, that. But you could just, if you've got a Velcro patch on your rucksack, let's say, you can just stick that on your rucksack, can't you? You don't need to clip it on anything. And then the other one that I showed you before, where you just slot it through your belt, comes with these. So this is a lot tougher material. This would probably be much better once it's broken in a bit more. You know, slide a few tools in and out. Once that's sort of broken in, probably much better. Because at the moment it's quite awkward to get things in and out, but that is because it's completely brand new. I've never used it, so. See there, just like that for a tool EDC. You can clip your glasses on there if you want. Quite handy. You've seen that one before, but that's how much that one was. And then everything else. There you go, mate. Thank you very much. I'll just quickly show you that again as well. I thought that was a clever little thing where you can just USB-C into your phone, and I'll do a review on that. Stay tuned. Right, thanks for watching. See you later.